drugs is increasing day by day, and all the television channels are telecasting the drug cases in the film fraternity, which is becoming the talk of the town. Drugs are chemicals that change the way a person's body works. You would probably heard that drugs are bad for you, but what does that mean and why are they bad? You must all be aware when you fall sick and visit the doctor, they will prescribe a few drugs which are legal for the doctor to prescribe and also for the patients to consume it. But it's not legal or safe for a person to use these medicines any way they want or to buy them from people who are selling them illegally. Cigarettes and alcohol are also kind of drugs which are legal for the people above 21 to consume, though it is not healthy for adults. So when you hear people talk about drug problem, what do they mean? It usually means using of illegal drugs such as cocaine, LSD, crystal meth or heroin to get high. Marijuana is also an illegal drug, but few states allow the doctors to prescribe it for the patients for certain illness. So, what makes the people get addicted to the drugs? Our brain wants us to keep doing things that we need or enjoy, like eating tasty food. That's why you sometimes eat more dessert than you know you should. Drugs that people use or misuse excite the parts of the brain that make you feel good. But after you take the drug for a while, your brain gets used to it. Then you need to take more of the drug to get the same good feeling. Soon your brain and body must have the drug to just feel normal. You feel sick and awful without the drug. How does the drug affect our body? The way a drug affects our body depends on the drug itself. What type of drug it is, how you took it, how much you took, how strong or pure it is, how often you take it. It also depends on your own body, like your gender, physical size, mood, personality, exceptions, how recently you ate, your general health, have you become tolerant, what other drugs you took with it, for example, alcohol. The consumption of the drugs not only affects our mental health, it also affects our financial issues, relationship, legal issues. Have you heard about grooming? What does it mean? How do people groom others to sell drugs? Grooming is when someone builds a relationship, trust and emotional connection with a child or young person so they can manipulate, exploit and abuse them. Groomers may also build a relationship with a young person's family or friends to make them seem trustworthy or authoritative. It involves gang using young people to move drugs and money from saturated markets in inner city hubs to coastal towns and smaller villages. The trade named after the telephone lines introduced in new areas to sell drugs at street level is aimed at muscling into new territories to maximize profit while reducing personal risk of traffickers. They use children because they are cheap, easier to intimidate, less likely to attract attention, and chillingly in their eyes, easily replaceable. They manipulate them with promises of cash, lavish gifts, drugs, friendships, and sometimes the promise of creating a better life for their families. And if at all that fails, they resort to intimidation and threats of violence against them and their loved ones. Once under their control, the younger will carry Class A drugs to the new territories. He or she will be given a mobile phone and put up in the home of local addict who has been cuckooed by the gang, either with the use of violence or the promise of free drugs. From the newfound trap house, they are on call 24 hours a day to hand over their drugs to the customers. What do parents need to know? We must all be aware of criminal gangs and the signs to spot in children, even if you believe your child would never have anything to do with these people. There is no one type of child that criminals target. Persistently going missing from school or home and or being found out of area. Unexplained acquisition of money, clothes or mobile phones. Excessive receipts of texts, phone calls or having multiple handsets. Relationship with controlling or older individuals or groups. Leaving home or care without explanation. Suspicion of physical assault or unexplained injuries. Parental concern. Carrying weapons. Significant decline in school results or performances. Gang association or isolation from peers or social networks. Self-harm or significant changes in emotional well-being. So, as a parent, how can we take the precautionary measures? As a parent, you are the biggest influence in your child's life, and having open and honest conversation is one of the most powerful ways to connect with your kids and help them develop into healthy adults. When addressing some more challenging topics like nicotine, alcohol, or drugs, it's not about having one-time drug talk, but rather tackling the subject through more often frequent organic conversations that evolve as your child gets older. Some things to keep in mind. Keep lines of communication open and make sure you come from a place of love and compassion even when you're having tough conversations. Balance any consequences with positive encouragement. Frequent touch points and teachable moments come up all the time. Use these as natural opportunities to discuss substance use. Get to know your child's friend and their parents. Discuss the difference between the medical uses and illegal uses of drugs and how taking prescription medicine the wrong way can be very dangerous. Work on problem solving together. Help children separate reality from fantasy. Make sure your teen knows the rules and the consequences of breaking those rules. Stay alert to possible mental health issues. Everyone has a part to play in protecting the youth of the world from dangerous substances like drugs. Drug campaigns should be conducted to raise awareness about the major challenge that illicit drugs pose to society as a whole and especially to young people. The campaign should aim, mobilize support and inspire people to act against drug abuse. So let's all join our hands to eradicate the use of illegal drugs and save our child and society from drug trafficking. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe our channel.